Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Friday the 20th of November. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and yesterday we had a nice bullish day in terms of the overall move. It did sell off later on in the later part of the Asian session and continued through into this morning's Asian session. Now, it's finding support at the 21 moving average here, lower band. It may be sufficient to give it the oomph it needs. It has got positive momentum on this 4-hourly time frame at least. It's taken a bit of time, but we may even get a positive strike on the dailies at this rate. But dailies, obviously, unless we break this high, if we break this pivot swing high, well, there's a possibility we could run up towards the previous highs there and maybe even up to that daily 21. But you've got to remember it is in a solid downward trend on that dailies. However, the 4-hourlies have suggested there's higher lows coming in here, and the pattern is slightly changed now. I was just drawing this trend line. Don't worry, it's one of those ones I just pop in first thing when you're looking at the candle, but of course the candle's not finished yet, so I can't really put it there. But it looks to me that euro could now come off towards that hourly 50, and it's got the possibility of doing so. If it does and breaks, well, the daily S1 would be a fair target with the previous lows. If it does get sometimes we see a low around this time of the morning. This may be it. If it does manage to put a low in here and starts moving in the opposite direction, well, then I'd be looking for the break of this upper trend line. But I really would need some sort of confirmation that it's putting in a reversal to do so. At the moment, we could just be ending up otherwise with it just sort of having a reaction, but then continuing down. What we've got at the moment is we've got this lower low, lower high situation, then another lower high. So we've got two lower highs and a lower low, another lower low sitting here. So at the moment, from a 4-hour perspective, it's suggesting the market's moving downside. Now, perhaps if after 8 o'clock we see a continuation of this move, there may be an opportunity to get on board and see if we can play it towards those sort of mid-afternoon or midday lows that we saw on the euro. Okay, let's have a look at the pound dollar. Let's just check in on news. We've got Draghi speaking at 8 o'clock this morning, so let me just check what he's speaking on. To speak at the Euro Financial Week. Okay, so whenever Draghi speaks, there's a good chance the euro may see some movement. One of our clients always suggests that it might sell off, but can't guarantee that at the moment. But certainly that seems to happen quite a lot at the moment. Anyway, looking at the pound dollar, and well, the pound also it almost had a pivot swing beforehand the previous day, which triggered yesterday, but not quite one. But anyway, seeing the bullish continuation. At the moment, it's sold off again through the Asian session. Just couldn't hold on to the late last night. It sort of rolled over and it's consolidated and given away a bit more this morning. So we're sitting back here, and once again, what we've got here, well, we haven't got quite the same because we've got the sort of low here, which is yet to be breached. Now, if that is breached, well, I would expect that there's a reasonable chance we could get down towards the S1 sort of area, certainly the 50 MA, and that's been tested before numerous times all along here. But support may have because it's been a while, may have a reaction off of it. But if it does run down this way, then we could be looking for that S1 potentially. Any reversal earlier this morning, well, I've got to be waiting for a break of this trend line, and then, well, the obvious parts are sort of yesterday's highs, this area here, and then possibly the R1 and back into the monthly pivot. But the bigger trend, I say the intermediate sort of trend had been up. We haven't broken this. This is still a higher low at this point. If it starts getting broken, well, maybe things may change. It may just do this ABC sort of movement and then move up. But all the same, I need to see a break of this upper trend line to be looking for longs this morning. Okay, that's the euro to pound, the dollar yen. Dollar yen double topped yesterday. We've put that in with some divergence, and but at the moment it's having a bit of a recovery from that. But it did again put a pivot swing in, so a break of the lows. Well, it would be a confirmation of that move, and could see us coming back possibly towards that 21. Looking at where we are on the 4 hourlies, and it's sort of testing that 4 hourly 8, 34, 50, all at one go there. It's tested that, pulled off, but now come back towards it, which probably doesn't bode too well with it holding. But it's still, we've still got some other, we've got the upper band and the 21 there, so some other stuff there that may provide resistance. Looking at it from an hourly point of view, and you can see the different stages of this movement as we sort of started putting in lower highs, breaking the lows each time. You have a lower high, and it's sort of gone in that sort of motion. Now this is a key area here, because if it breaks this previous high here, we could be on for the 50 and maybe continuing in this mode here. So we really need to look at what's happening and watch this price action, and probably look at across the board. Likewise, any sell-off, and start seeing a sell-off, could see us running obviously towards yesterday's lows and the S1 area there. So there's the possibilities of break of the highs. Well, we've got the 50 MA possibly in the way there, which may provide some resistance thereafter. Well, R1 looks easy enough to achieve in a sense. It depends on the range of today. Often after quite a rangy day, what we saw yesterday, we see a bit more of an inside day. Okay, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar's, it's been a bit of a star in some respects, because it's been moving ahead, and it's sort of pushed now back towards its daily 100. So it had a really good day yesterday after this sort of little bull flag. It sort of moved up, pushed itself through, and now again, just looking there, not even diverging or anything, it's just consolidating again, going through another consolidation phase, which is what you really want when you want a bullish market, is consolidation. So bring it down to the hourlies, and it's got all the right signs here. Can't again, like cable, it hasn't put any lower lows in yet. It has put a lower high in, but at the moment you've got this wedge pattern in the shorter time frame, and it might give the easier break trade, or give us the biggest clue this morning. Has already run into the 21 moving average there, simple. Has got possibility of finding the exponential 21 just below it. So if it does break down, I'd watch that and maybe use that as the guideline for it, because it's got the daily pivot sitting underneath here. Likewise, any sort of rally that in the morning, got to be a bit careful, maybe looking for an early move. If it gets an early move, I may just jump aboard on the break here, but just got to be careful that it may just get stifled quickly by yesterday's highs. But if it can break that, well, then we're looking at the back towards the bigger picture for sort of resistance. And well, there is resistance just fractionally above us there from prior highs there, so just got to be a bit careful. It does push up, but any sustained move, well, we've got the intermediate and then possible. Well, anyway, that's really going for it to see it pushing up there, but certainly we've got the intermediate midi there, pivot as a possible target. Okay, that's it. I want to just a quick look at the Canadian dollar. Looking from the dailies again, it's sort of been in this upward trend, Canadian dollar of late. It had quite a reversal yesterday and followed through, but again, it seems to be running back up easier than some of the reversing easier against the dollar as opposed to some of the other currencies. We've seen these sort of high low, higher highs coming in, loads of them actually. It's working its way through. Only way I'd look at being short on this is proper reversal. Need to see some proper reversal. I'd rather be always on the long side. That's already hit the daily R1 level up here. So it's really taken away one of the targets I'd have been looking for from the long side. Probability of running into R2 is generally slightly less on most days, although we've seen 2 days where it's gone right from an R2 here down to an S2 the following day. But so you never know. But they're sort of 20% days these. So we've seen two in 2 days. So chances of a third one, well, possible, but probably the odds have dropped somewhat. So it may be a bit more contained today. Okay, any other news we've got? Well, talking of the Canadian dollar, we've got the inflation figure out at 130, and very little else in terms of news today. So unless it's just general speakers, so very little in the way of news. So hope you have a great day, and I'll be back on Monday. Bye for now.